YouTube community, 2024 fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens. We're here today to take a look at my top 10 favorites of 2024. What a year it's been. So if you're seeing this video, hopefully you saw my first part, which are numbers 24 through 11. I did 24 albums for 2024. Come on, it's my channel. That video felt slightly easier to put together, but as with any list, as you get to the top of something or the bottom of something, it gets harder to nail down your final thoughts, but I'm pretty confident with this list. Numbers 1 and 2, I think are tied. Just throwing that out there, I think they're tied, which is probably a bit of a cop-out answer, but they're great albums. At number 10, Wyatt Thunderberg with Fleeting and Finite. One of the most gorgeous releases I have heard this year. I love this little EP. And like I said in my last video, yes, there are EPs on this list because why not? Wyatt teased us last year with a couple of tracks that ended up on this record, but this little EP, what a gorgeous, heartfelt listen. I absolutely love the blending of sound collages with synthy, Weezery moments that effortlessly have influence from the Beach Boys. These influences and mixtures of ideas, and on top of that, blending in just Wyatt's personality, his incredible voice, and his skillful playing, makes for this like sonic world that your ears get to revel in. It's from the heart, it's exciting, it leaves you constantly wanting more, and it also leaves you feeling inspired. You know, it's a really heartfelt record, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Yeah, if you haven't checked this one out, Fleeting and Finite by Wyatt Thunderberg, give it a listen, you will not be disappointed. At number 9, Kman, A la Salah. What an experience this record is. If you want to be transported to a soulful, transcendent, creative atmosphere, this is the record for you. It creates little worlds to explore in and little moments of excitement or reflection or joy or an eagerness to discover. The whole album is a trip and one that I find myself frequently getting lost in. It's one of the most beautiful albums of the year. You really come away from this album feeling either a lot calmer or more introspective or having focused your thoughts. At number 8, Shead, Music is the Answer. Shead was one of my absolute favorite discoveries of 2024. I'd never heard of them until I heard Black Walnut, and that song blew my mind. And then the album came out, and that blew my mind too. Expert musicianship and vocals from the depths of the most purest of hearts. Lyrics that empower, lyrics that can open your mind, and dynamic musical performances that range everywhere from careful, intricate little details to euphoric, joyous expressions. You can label them as like neo-soul. You can say if you're a fan of Hiatus Coyote, you would love these guys, but really, to put it bluntly, it's Shead music. It's them, it sounds like them, they are their own little world, and it's truly one of my favorite albums of the year. At number 7, Claro with Charm. Third time's a charm. With help from some of the Dap Kings, like, what? Claro's soft, gentle, honest voice caresses so perfectly over the sophisticated 70s-esque mood that they create on this album together, this beautiful warm blanket of emotions. What an amazing little album. They really create like a homespun kind of feel because the whole thing is super organic and natural sounding. The blend that they all have with each other sounds like they've known each other for 1,000 years. It's just a very pleasant on the ears album. Songs like Sexy to Someone, Juna, Add Up My Love. I mean, these songs are some of the year's best. The depth, the layers of emotion, the storytelling, you're just captivated. At number 6, and easily I think the best rock album of the year, Jack White, No Name. He threw No Name at us, and I'm so glad he did. Like, this album is easily the most comfortable Jack has sounded in years. It feels like the album came together so seamlessly, so effortlessly, which makes repeated listens such an easy decision. The guitar riffs are fresh and hungry, the vocal delivery is so impassioned, and the lyrics are raw and upfront. It's effortlessly cool. It's exciting and constantly inspiring. He's excited, and that gets the listener invested. It's the most White Stripes he's sounded in years, but with all the perfect elements of his solo career to keep it sounding exclusively him. Absolutely the best rock album of the year. Here we go. We've entered top 5 territory. At number 5, Joey Valance and Bray. No hands. I mean, what more can I say with this record? I had the honor of reviewing this one as well for the Needle Drop this year. But with this record, you feel the friendship, you feel the confidence of believing in yourself, you feel the humor, you feel the fun, but most importantly, you feel the honesty of it all. They just want to have fun, tell stories, and show off a bit. Music doesn't have to be so serious all the time, and when it's done properly, fun can be just as acceptable as serious music. But here's the thing, they take fun seriously. They really care about what they're making. Like, not every song is a goofy, funny joke. For instance, Omnitrix, the last song on the record, is actually a really emotionally deep song. It's like, hey, we've created something and now there's an audience of people like what we've done and we can help out our families with this and that. Like, you want to see a party trick? This ain't a watch, it's an Omnitrix. Like, I've literally transformed into something else. It's amazing. Also, The Baddest will go down as one of the best songs of 2024 because it's just bravado at its best. Instantly catchy. You're in. You're locked in. Hell of a song. At number 4, Michelle. Songs About You specifically. I truly love this record. The harmonies on this album are absolutely insane. The vocal interplay is inventive and exciting. Musically, this thing ranges anywhere from like cute indie vibes to dance pop to 90s R&B. You know, they took their time with this record to really create something special. They believed in what they had and wanted to let it simmer and grow. I mean, when I first heard Unce, that thing blew me away. I was like, what is this band and where have they been my whole life? Lyrically, it's the freshest look at relationships I've ever heard. And I love that the 4 vocalists in this group have different distinctive deliveries. So when they are singing together or individually, you get different tones, different storytelling, and that makes for a really creative listen. Welcome to one of your new favorite albums. At number 3, Hiatus Coyote. Holy smokes. Love Heart Cheat Code. Oh man, what more can I say? The exploration and the heart on this album is delicious. Dreamy, sweeping strings at times, fiery bass riffs, shuffly drums that could become thunder at a moment's notice, and Napalm's truly insanely dynamic vocals that will just knock you off your feet. It's one of the most immersive listening experiences I've ever heard, but certainly of this year. Musically, the performances could not be more expert and confidently delivered. The harmonies are from another world, the hooks are so smooth and catchy and endless. The album goes to so many different planets, if you will, but the spaceship you're riding in is so inviting, so the ride is welcomed. Truly a gorgeous album and something for the group to be immensely proud of. It's one of the best things they've ever done. So now here we are, the top 2, which, as I've said, are tied. I can't pick one. I just can't. Both of these records have something truly special and a magnetism about them that glows. These 2 albums could not be more different from each other, but what they do share is an absolute hunger to create art for the sake of art. Brat by Charlie XCX. You all saw that one coming, come on. One of the most important albums of the decade, let alone 2024. It's at times brutally honest and raw, and then at other times confident and so stoked on itself. An album about celebrity and what it means to be a celebrity and whether that's okay. An album about being a girl and what that means and what that means to be in the pop world as a girl, but also thinking about planning a future and having a family and having a kid and what does that mean for your career? What do you do? An album about friendships, relationships, broken friendships. This album absolutely pushes the boundaries of what a pop record could be. It feels like you're on one long journey, and as you get to the end of the record, you get to 365, a song that repeats the same verse over and over and over again, almost hypnotically, as if you were lost in the club in this party atmosphere. And this insanely heavy synth riff just like takes you away. It takes you out of your worries. It takes you out of your mortalness and transports you somewhere else. The layers of depth on this album, storytelling wise, are truly something to admire. You know, sort of disguised in the sheen of a pop record is an album of an artist figuring out their place in the world and doing so on such a public platform and trying to figure out where that balance is. An album that is incredibly thoughtful and from the heart, but also trying to get lost in that party atmosphere, but also trying to figure out what that party atmosphere means to that person. It absolutely deserves, rightly so, to be number one on so many lists this year. It's an album no one saw coming and completely turned the pop world on its head. Brat is more than an album. It's a cultural shift. It's an identity. It's an idea. It's a concept. It's more than catchy music. It's impressively honest. It's loaded with these heartfelt lyrics in a genre that doesn't necessarily dive that deep into exploring your psyche. The album really is a mission statement. Pop music with a message. If you take Brad apart, it says art B. And also tied at number one, A Dream Is All We Know by the Lemon Twigs. I had the absolute honor of reviewing this one for the Needle Drop as well. This album is wonderful. A colorful world full of imagination and exploration, and a land where the national anthem is anything with harmonies and everyone loves the 60s. The Twigs here discover and explore and own every sound on this record. It's an absolute modern masterpiece. The storytelling is captivating. The song construction is something to drool over. And their brilliance for hooks and soaring harmonies and honesty is something to treasure. I adore the heartfelt delivery and excitement in these grooves, and yeah, they wear their influences on their sleeve, but it's not their entire wardrobe. Underneath all of this, or on top of all of this, however you want to put it, are two brothers who love working together and share that musical DNA, that the family bond, only that family bond will know. And we are the lucky ones because they let us hear that world and hear that magic. So there you go. Top 10, my top 10 favorite albums of 2024. What an absolutely amazing year for music. It was one of my favorite years for music in recent memory. I feel like there was just something constantly coming out that was blowing my mind and something that was catching my interest. When I wrote this list up, I had almost 50 albums written down, and I whittled it down to 24 just to make it, 24 for 24. It was such a joy to put this list together, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't heard any of these albums, play any of them. They're all freaking great. My criteria for this video was, what did I play the most of? What did I enjoy the most? What did I get the most out of? What was I going back to discover more of? How was I looking through the layers of each song on a particular record? Was I listening for the bass on this song constantly? Was I trying to figure out what this one song on Brat was about? What brought me back? And really, all these albums are extremely special. They all have something to say, something to offer, and there's an audience for all of them for sure. It was just a great year for music. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What were your top 10? What was your number one? Did you have something tied at number one like I did? Let me know. I absolutely want to hear what you have to say about it. But thank you for being here this year. There's so much more to come in 2025, and it means a lot. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling your friends. It's been a heck of a year. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And here's to 2025. See ya.